Line up, you fucking nerds. Who wants a shot at the champ?
They bring the heat.
Francis Ngannou is the hardest puncher in the history of fighting.
They bring the knowledge.
If you think this fight is going 5 rounds, you are out of your mind.
They bring you the picks.
The dog is getting it done in this one.
We deliver every single week. We're bringing the heat, ladies and gentlemen.
The money line.
Don't miss it on the MMA Experts channel each week.
The money line. We are live. It's a beautiful Monday, December the 18th. I am AJ, joined as always by my guy Mike Finch. How you doing, bro?
Man, amped after those fights. Did we get some nice knockouts, man?
We got some sick KOs, good scraps. The prelims were absolute bangers, and I'm looking forward to talking about all of them. Real quick, though, we got Justin Mack, who's throwing heat at the Finch right away.
Mike Finch, you absolutely suck. I like it. I get you, bro. I get you, okay? Hey, that's the number one I get. You MFs telling me I look like that dork Urseg. I get Chael Sonnen in real life, okay? Like, hey, you look like Chael Sonnen. So I appreciate that one. Anderson Silva, you absolutely suck. I get it, bro. Thank you.
Thank you, Justin Mack. And GMD's got to be brought up just for his sacrifice alone. He says 4:15 a.m. here. Sacrifices must be made for the money line. GMD, we appreciate you.
Thank you for tuning in, bro.
Real early, real late, depending. I don't know if you've gone to bed yet, but we're glad that you're here, bro.
It is definitely true. You beat me, I will leave the UFC forever.
You look like Chael doned off the TRT.
What you talking about, dog? Come on, bro. Guess what I just signed up for yesterday?
What?
I'm competing at ADCC trials. Let's go, AJ.
Let's go. Right, so how does that work? How does that work? Is it belt class? Like, how does it work, the division that you're in? We'll just wait.
Yeah, exactly. I'll be in there with the purple belts. Let's go.
So, Finch, we expecting a win from you, man. When is it?
Thank you. It's January 20th. So now you just put a bunch of pressure on my shoulders. Bro, I'm just telling you I'm competing. My first competition in a long time. I train all the time. So everybody's always like, why don't you compete? Why don't you compete? Here we go. January 20th, Long Beach, ADCC opens. Let's go.
Anybody in the area, go check out Finch, man, at the ADCC.
Come compete against me. What's up? I'm competing at 168. So let's do it.
Any purple belts in the area that want to challenge Mike Finch, even if you're not a purple belt, you can fake it.
I'm 183 right now, okay? I'm going to make 168, AJ.
So what are we doing? Just a water cut? Or are you going to start running?
A little bit of both, bro. I just rolled today. I was feeling pretty good, you know, putting the heat on these kids. Yeah, we got to lose a little bit of this. So, you know, a little bit of both.
A little bit of the, the up and coming dad bod, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, see, I'm not a dad, so no, I can't be rocking the dad bod. Justin Mack, Finch, go back to 8 p.m. Moneyline if I win against you in jiu-jitsu. Justin Mack, no problem. You could pick any time you want to if you come beat me in jiu-jitsu, my friend. Let's go. Southern California is your vacation destination, and you could also catch this rear naked strangle.
Let's go. Check out the Finch, guys. Go do the Finch challenge. We need more content for Finch's YouTube channel. So I think that'd be a sick video to drop, man.
Yeah. You see AJ's low-key rip there? He's like, Mike, you're not updating your channel. I don't work on my channel like AJ works on his channel, okay? This guy works, so I got to step my game up. I got your note. Thank you.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. Icy Kid 2, he's a new sub here. And he said, apparently Bryce woke up Muslim. That's pretty fucking funny.
That's too much, bro.
Oh shit. That's funny,
too
man.
much.
That's funny.
Be nice to my guy Bryce. Hey, who rips on Bryce Mitchell more than me? But damn, guys, like that KO was scary.
Scary KO. But like I was thinking, is this the guy that doesn't wake up from a shot for the first time ever?
Oh, the last time I thought that was when Rashad Evans knocked Chuck Liddell out, and Chuck was down for like, a couple minutes. It was pretty bad. Maybe it wasn't that long. It seemed like that long when I was watching it. Definitely more than a minute though. Like Chuck was out cold. Yeah, Bryce Mitchell having a seizure on the mat, scary stuff. I don't know if you saw what he posted, but he said he posted a thank you to Josh Emmett for not doing follow-up shots. I mean, you got to at least admit the kid's humble.
Bryce is a good dude, likable. Him and Josh Emmett, two humble savages that one had to go unconscious for. Yay, listen, bro, you do got a potential challenger. We got Garrett Kerhoff. He says he's in SoCal ready to get choked out. Let's go. I like it. I like it.
All right, I'm at UFC Gym Rosemead now, although you could still catch me at UFC Gym Huntington Beach. Stop by, catch the smoke. I go to Art of Jiu-Jitsu in the morning, but, you got to pay like a mat fee there. You can just stop right into UFC HB, and I'll slap this choke on you. Come by, Garrett.
And then we got potential odds on Justin versus
Heavy favorite. Unless Justin's got fights, he's got to send us his.
We don't know. Justin's low key, man. I think he's a street fighter, man.
I mean, Tank Abbott used to say he was 200-0 street fights. So
yeah,
you never know with these guys.
Yeah, you never know. That boy Sergio dropped a 199 dono. Greetings, nerds and virgins. Let's make Moneyline great again. Listen, I think Moneyline's been great. I feel like we've been killing it more. We appreciate the 199. Joe Dirt, we see your comment there. He would have probably killed him. Thank you, that boy Sergio. Listen, I want to talk a little bit about the fights that transpired this past weekend. UFC 296, main event of the evening. Leon Edwards versus Colby Covington. Mike, in all actuality, I think the main event was a bit of a dud as far as how it turned out. And even though Leon Edwards looked to be technically sound and a damn good fighter, he finishes a fight once again without that pop. The excitement of the fans for a Leon Edwards fight, I feel like just isn't there right now. And even though he had that vicious knockout of Usman, was losing a majority of that fight. And then he got a competitive decision against him last time here. For the most part, picked apart Colby Covington, but finishes the fight on his back with Colby throwing some shots, peppering ground and pound. There wasn't any significant strikes being landed, but I don't think it's a good look when the champion finishes on bottom. And I believe that if he really forced it, he could probably get up, but he felt, why take the risk trying to get back up to the feet? What if something crazy happens and then Colby ends up beating him? Nonetheless, I think though fan-sided wise, Leon's not a big needle mover, man. I think he lacks a little bit of emotion, even though like you could tell he was emotional about the situation with Colby Covington mentioning his father. I feel as though it's like an emotion that maybe me and you talk to the fans and they can see something about us. Like you feel like when you watch even Colby Covington, as much as a prick he is, you feel like you get to know who Colby Covington is a bit. With Leon, he speaks, but it's like I feel like he doesn't really open up. That's the word I was looking for. I feel like he doesn't open up to the audience. Like I feel like we don't know much about Leon Edwards, and I think he's having a hard time relating with especially American fans, and I don't think he's a big needle mover, bro. What are your thoughts on the fight, though, Finch, man?
There's a really popular old clip from a post-game press conference in the NFL when the Chicago Bears won the NFC Championship. And the quote is, "The Bears are who we thought they were. They are who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook. So if you want to crown them, then crown their ass." So that exactly applies here because Leon Edwards is exactly who we thought he was. He's a technical kickboxer. He picks his shots. His range game is pretty damn good. But against the fence, if you chain wrestle, you could put him on his back. And when Colby Covington did it in the 5th round, it's like, dude, where was this in 1, 2, 3? He started wrestling in 4 and 5. I saw every judge gave 4 to Leon, but I think it was a little competitive, right? He started wrestling in 4 and 5. Where was this early on? And AJ, we talked about it. I said it very explicitly in the breakdown. Now I gotta wear the hat that I made. I did say Colby was my pick, but Colby was my lock. But Colby could not have been more off, more rusty with the boxing. I saw exactly what you saw in that area where he just could not. And Dana White said speed. I disagree. I think the speed was there, but the number one thing was timing, AJ. He couldn't find the timing. He could not put combinations together or punches together to threaten Leon Edwards. So what's the one thing he could have done? He could have put the damn car in drive, and he just refused to do that. He sparred out there. That was straight up sparring. Colby, after the fight, goes, I wasn't even in a fight. I don't have a scratch on me. Colby, that's a bad thing. Why? Why don't you have any scratch? Why weren't you in a fight? You needed to go forward. This is a rangy kickboxer. You're going to spar with him for 3 rounds. You think you're getting this decision? No way. AJ, you said it during the live stream that if you knew that this would be at range, you would have picked Leon by knockout. So hell yeah, Leon was disappointing. We'll get to that in a second. He was very technical. I don't want to, drop the world on him, but that Colby Covington that showed up did have ring rust. That Colby Covington that showed up clearly hasn't fought in a long time. You saw that. And then towards the end of the fight, you saw the pathways he could have taken. So I don't know. Bad fight is not what I think of it. When I think of it, I think, damn, I am frustrated. I am frustrated at the strategy execution of Colby Covington. I'm frustrated at the lack of finishing, Leon Edwards did not go for that KO. He threw up maybe 1 or 2 head kicks. He did not really sell out for it. And yeah, you can coast your way to a decision if you want to, but not if you want to be a pay-per-view draw. Not if you want to have bragging rights. Not if you want to be up there with GSP in a conversation of great welterweights. That was not it. His take. Let me say some good things about Leon before I shit on him the whole way. His takedown defense is great on the outside. Look at how well he slips out of single legs on the outside. But what did we talk about? I was saying the chain wrestling on the fence, right? When Colby could press him into that fence like he did to RDA and all these other guys, that's where he could thrive. AJ, I feel like he let him off the hook.
I think that he definitely fought in a conservative manner that, limited his chances of getting a finish, maybe secured him the win, though, because he had rounds that he was up. I just look at the fight, and I wasn't bored watching it, but I am not excited for Leon's next fight, right? Like, I'm thinking Leon Edwards in a spot, he needs an opponent that also moves the needle. Like you said, if he wants to capitalize on the pay-per-view sales. Unfortunately, I made a video about this yesterday about potentially Islam Makhachev going up in weight, challenging Leon Edwards. That's a big fight. Nonetheless, I actually don't think that's that likely. I'm assuming that the most deserving guy, Belal, has to be next, right? If Belal isn't next, I think it's a blatant disregard for him, right? He's going to be overlooked. He weighed in as the backup. He was at the event. He did an interview post-main event with Megan O'Leary. I would assume that Belal is next. He is the most deserving guy, but both Dana White and Leon Edwards both kind of brushed aside the Belal Muhammad title fight. And I know Dana, I said this during my other video. I know Dana says, I don't make fights the night of fights, but needle movers get fights made the night of fights. That's absolute lie. It's just, I don't think that they're seeing a juicy pay-per-view number with Belal Muhammad and Leon Edwards. Shavkat Rakhmonov doesn't speak a lick of English, but if he was in the fight with Leon Edwards, I think he's the needle mover in that matchup.
I don't know. It's almost like Belal and Shavkat should fight, but Belal would hate me saying that. Belal, text me back, bro. I've been trying to get Belal on this damn show.
He doesn't answer your text. He's gone Hollywood on us, man.
Bro, I used to mop that guy's sweat off the mat at UFC Gym Oaklawn. We've rolled before. Belal knows me. Come on, Belal. Yeah, he's Hollywood now. What's going on? He's wearing the glasses all the time. He never wore glasses. Now he's got these glasses on all the time. I don't know what happened to the guy. He's too big for his britches now. Yes, but back to this one. I do think that you spotted something that I've heard few people talk about, which is that the striking of Colby was so off. I mean, did you see how bad the timing was? Do you agree with Dana that it was a speed thing? Because to me, it just seemed like he couldn't get in a flow. He couldn't quite catch the shots as they were coming in. He couldn't quite slip and rip. He couldn't do his usual thing where he's punching with you. He just looked rusty to me, AJ. Is that what you saw too?
I would say that with Colby Covington, something I saw is, like you said, lack thereof timing, but it almost looks like a lack of timing as if he wasn't sparring, or at least wasn't sparring hard. Like I think that the way that he fought reminds me of, and Mike, I'm sure you've experienced this. Let's say you hadn't sparred. I don't know, what's the longest you've gone without sparring?
The longest I've gone?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've taken months off, many months off. I've gotten injured, bro. I broke my leg. I broke my hand. Yeah, I've taken 6
So let's
months
say
off.
first spar back when you're punching. Let's say you
Oh
do a
yeah.
kick
Oh
back.
yeah.
You feel
You're
fuck, this
missing
guy might
big. Yeah, of course.
You're like a little jumpy at everything. And
Yeah.
you feel like your eyes are like squinting a bit, and like you're like worried about getting punched in the face a lot more than normal. Colby looked like that. And
Yeah.
I know people will say, oh, the ring rust, he hasn't fought in, however many months, but it looked like to me he hadn't sparred consistently, which I don't know if
That
there
little
was something.
gym.
What'd you say?
He's at that little gym. He used to
Yeah.
be at American Top Team where he could get in there with Dustin Poirier, and he can get in there with Jorge Masvidal, and he could get in there with all those killers, right? He could jump in with Johnny Eblen. Now he's at this little gym. I'm concerned about what type of sparring he's getting. Dana said he's old and slow. I don't think either of those things are true. I think he's not getting the right sparring, and I think he had ring rust, and it showed.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that, though, the personality of Colby Covington, we hear whispers that he's actually a nice guy outside of the persona, but I have a feeling that it's untrue in some senses, right? Because I really think that someone couldn't stick with the shtick like that to that deep of a level if they really were that nice outside of it. Eventually, you'd give a little respect to your rival. Like if post fight, hey, listen, Leon did a good job, but Colby stuck with it. He sold himself as this was a robbery. The judges were against me, which is just delusion. And I know that I saw someone in the chat earlier. Where is it? Lobato. This was a good one, man. He brought up something, and I gotta find him. He's up here.
Go ahead.
I read it. He says Colby should retire because I'm pro-Trump and he makes us look bad. All right, so that was the main part of it. But I would say, like, Colby Covington having this shtick of being Donald Trump's favorite fighter, I think Trump's losing votes for Colby Covington back him, man. I think he's gonna find something different.
Yeah, he put his feet in it with saying crazy stuff, and then now he's gonna lose. Yeah, not a good look. Troy Hall, the Colby that fought Usman would beat Leon, so it wasn't a bad pick, to be honest. That's what I'm seeing. I mean, you could really see it in that 5th round. That's what I'm talking about. To me, it looked like a ring-rusted Colby, and if Colby's moving forward and throwing lots of punches, it's just like Leon looks so beatable and people aren't doing it. Yeah, kind of frustrating. Let's stop shitting on Leon. Great precision striking, very conservative, which is nice to bet on, actually. He doesn't take a lot of risks. I maybe, getting rocked by Nate Diaz in the 5th round did something to him. I don't know, but he's a very conservative guy. He really does not put a lot out there to try to make a mistake, but he also doesn't really try to finish the fight either. So you could always kind of, when somebody finishes a fight, like Hamzat finishes a fight in the 1st round, you don't get to find out what would have happened in round 3, right? But if you let that fight keep going on, you let people have more opportunities at you. Eventually, Colby does finish a takedown. Eventually, you do get caught in half guard and start getting your ear punched a little bit. So there's something to be said for that too, right? Like, it's nice to bet on these guys who are conservative, but if you're in there for 25 minutes, that's 25 minutes of risk too. And if Colby was more dangerous guy, I don't know. But Colby's style is to move forward, throw lots of punches. He didn't do those things, AJ.
All right, next matchup for Colby Covington. Next fight. Do you think you give him Wonderboy? I say no, because I think Wonderboy has better options. Maybe an Ian Garry fight. Maybe a fight against even the winner of or specifically MVP if he beats Kevin Holland, which we'll talk about that fight in a little bit. I would be kind of sad to see Wonderboy and Colby made next. I just don't want to give Colby that spot or shine. I'd rather see Colby Covington, honestly, fight Shavkat. Give him a punishment fight. Let's give him the scariest guy in the fucking weight class.
I think Shavkat is scarier. I think Belal probably deserves it a little more. Especially seeing what Brady looked like against Kelvin Gastelum. It's pretty impressive what Belal did to him. And, Belal got eye poked in that Leon Edwards fight. I think it would be fun. I don't know. What do you guys want to see? You let us know. There's definitely a debate to be had there. Shavkat seems a little bit younger in the game. I think Belal's paid his dues a little more. Maybe you go with Belal.
Belal versus Leon, I'm going to pick as what on paper should be next. Covington versus Shavkat, sensible too, though.
Yeah. That's interesting. Colby wants Wonderboy.
I don't want to give him Wonderboy, man. I want Wonderboy MVP. Michael Venom Page might have a chance
to bounce back. AJ. Let's be honest. Shavkat, if that Colby Covington shows up, I think I got Shavkat, brother.
Oh yeah, I picked Shavkat too. I'm ready. I'm jumping ship on Colby as far as my hype for him. I'd rather pass.
He's got to come back and prove himself. I mean,
he does
100%. That was not. I am not impressed by your performance. So, we'll see what happens, man. Leon might be bald in the back, but the dude's in his prime.
Listen, we got 14 likes up in here. People watching live, smash that like button. Because it's an off week, I'll be a little unprofessional. If we hit 30 likes up in here, I got you guys for a rip. I got you guys for a rip on the side. I do it for Finch, man. Finch gonna have to deal with my stone ass, man.
Look at this.
It's an off week show, man. We're doing a live stream Q&A type vibe, you know?
I didn't think the fight was as horrible as everybody else did. I was just a little frustrated watching it. You know what I ended up betting? I ended up betting the over. So
that's good.
As the main card was on, I was thinking to myself, I was like, no way either of these guys are finishing each other. So I bet the over on the main event, and I parlayed Patty Pimblett and Shavkat. So I ended up getting some money back, but those were two just like game time calls, to gear one. And I'm like, why didn't I actually place that bet? I knew he was going to win, so after that one, I was like, all right, I gotta get some action. And I ended up doing those bets last minute. So cha-ching, it was a good night for me.
Tagir was my champion, man. That was a good lock this fucking past week. Co-main event. I want to talk about it. Pantoja, Royval, the rematch between these two savages. The biggest difference maker was Alexandre Pantoja's takedowns and control. He was able to neutralize the chaotic style of Royval. Now, he was unsuccessful on finishing the fight, something he was able to do the first time they faced off. But I'm going to knock that up to Royval improving. I think Brandon Royval is very good. It's just Pantoja. He's so tough, and he's got a gas tank and a half. And even when he looks exhausted, he can still land takedowns. And he's one of the stronger guys in the weight class too. I think his jiu-jitsu strength is off the charts with that top pressure and the way he can get the body triangle and lock the back up. He got a pretty clean W against Royval. And I think we're doing the winner of Moreno, Albazi, but I'll throw this monkey wrench in the hat. If Manel Kape has a vicious knockout win over Matthias Nicolau and that Moreno-Albazi fight goes the way of Moreno and maybe it's not an impressive win, I could see a different matchup, because if he's fighting Moreno again, it's a quadrilogy for fuck's sake.
Yeah. I mean, let's just first compliment what ATT has done for Pantoja. Pantoja's on a whole new level, and it's wrestling and it's physicality, man. He's able to really, really start fast and really win these scrambles. So big deal there. Royval dangerous everywhere, but you can't be getting out wrestled like that. I mean, it's just going to add up on you. In the UFC, these short 5-minute rounds, you got to be able to decide where the fight takes place. Pantoja does that really well. That seems to be the biggest difference to me. That's why we had to lean Pantoja on this one. So nice dub for Pantoja. Anybody who touched that, those odds weren't that wide. Good job.
Raw Dog Royval is in an interesting position, man. I think that you can give him the loser of Albazi Moreno. He's still top tier. He's still a fun fighter. I still want to see more out of him. Even though he lost the fight, I feel like he did well. I mean, it's not a shameful L to take. It's just he met his match with Pantoja. And I think Alexandre Pantoja, he's dangerous. I'm thinking if Albazi beats Moreno, that matchup is very intriguing because of the fact that Albazi has the good wrestling and pressure. I know the Moreno fight would obviously be tit for tat, but like nonetheless, Pantoja's got 3 wins over Brandon Moreno, and fighting a 4th time would be absolutely nuts. And isn't it weird? These low weight classes, we're getting quadrilogies. Brandon Moreno might be the first guy to be a part of not 1, but 2 quadrilogies inside of the fucking UFC.
What does that tell you? To me, it says the divisions are not quite that deep, you know? And it's always something to think about when you're deciding who you're going to put up pound for pound, who you got the most respect for. I mean, there's no quadrilogies at, lightweight for Islam Makhachev. You know what I mean? He's always going to have new food to eat. I mean, how many matchups are we not even going to be able to see? Of course, we want to see a ton of these that we haven't. So, it just shows me that these are some lighter divisions, not just in weight, but in how stacked they are, right? And you got to remember that when we're watching. Very technical fighters. Brandon Moreno is tremendous. Pantoja is tremendous. Brandon Royval is tremendous, but not the deepest, AJ.
Not the deepest, but entertaining nonetheless. I feel like I'm the king of flyweight, bro, because my locks with flyweights tend to be fucking money. I got to keep my eye on flyweight. Heading into 2024, I'm going to actually start writing my statistics down for weight class success, specifically on the lock streak, because I'm feeling like flyweight might be my money reads, bro.
Is that right? You're batting nice at flyweight?
Yeah, I mean, 2 weeks in a row, I'm hitting flyweights.
Let's go, man. Go for it. Go for it, AJ. Shit. Keep the stats.
I'm a flyweight guy. You know what I'm saying?
I like it. Listen, Pantoja's a beast, and I can't imagine betting against Pantoja anytime soon, but I guess they do got to run it back one more time.
Quadrilogy, pretty good chance of being next. That was a good matchup, but we're going to keep running down. The previous fight was Shavkat Rakhmonov and Wonderboy Thompson. We talked a little bit about Shavkat in the main event breakdown because, he's right in the title picture. He neutralized Wonderboy's striking for the most part. But, Mike, let's be honest. When we were at kickboxing range, Wonderboy was looking pretty good. I don't think he's far from his prime. I just think Shavkat is a tank whose grappling skill is very good. And I think that some may have, I don't think doubts now about his grappling, but initially, I think people were underestimating his grappling skill because he's so willing to stand up and strike. But he's a guy like Khamzat Chimaev that has a dominant grappling base alongside of a pretty competent striking game. But something that he's shown that Khamzat never has is patience. He's willing to slowly wear on his opponents and break them down. And to me, that's such a winning strategy to become a world champion, specifically at welterweight. I think that the Colby Covington fight next would be really cool. I'd like to see that matchup next. I'd like for Colby to have to fight a ranked contender. I don't want to throw him Wonderboy. I think Wonderboy should fight more like strikers. Like, why do I want to? What happens? We feed him Wonderboy. We go Wonderboy. And now Colby holds him down for 3 rounds. Why do I even want to give him a chance to do that? If I'm the promotion side, I'm like, okay, Colby Covington, how much of a stock in his game do we have right now? How much of the fan base is that invested in Colby? If you're willing to throw Colby to the sidelines and eliminate him in that real title talk, you give him Shavkat Rakhmonov next. Now, I don't know for sure if the UFC is going to want to do that because Colby Covington, I don't want to say he's a star, but if he's not a star, he's right under that level. People tune in to watch him lose for the most part. And Shavkat Rakhmonov and him is a big fight. Issue is Colby's biggest weapon outside of the cage is shit talk. It's not going to work with the guy that doesn't speak his language.
It doesn't have to. It's just good for the cameras. Do you think Donald Trump has no influence over Colby having a little bit more, leeway in the UFC? I mean, you see how close Dana keeps Trump, the relationship there. I mean, he went to the RNC and spoke for him. Trump's coming out to the events, having Colby come to the White House. He was the first fighter to go to the White House with the interim belt at the time, but a belt nonetheless. I mean, do you think there's no influence? Because you're asking the question, like, why does Colby get Wonderboy? I think there might be, there might be a little bit of pull there. The UFC might actually want to do Trump's fighters some favor. I don't know that. I'm just speculating, AJ.
Yeah, I mean, the speculation is fair. I just want Wonderboy versus Michael Venom Page. So if Kevin Holland beats
That's
Michael
dope.
Venom
Well,
Page,
it's Michael Venom Page versus Kevin Holland. That's dope.
if Kevin Holland
That's a
beats
good
Michael
fight.
Venom Page, okay, Wonderboy Colby. But if MVP wins, come on, we gotta set up the fucking karate fight of the ages in the cage. Like, who doesn't want to see that striking clash?
Yeah, I'm down, and I want to comment on what you said before, which is that his striking looked good. Man, he is an incredible striker. You know, I try to mimic a lot of his stuff that he teaches. Like he has these great instructionals online. Anybody who wants to learn like basic karate, Wonderboy is so intelligent. So good with his ability to defend leg kicks, even though he's standing literally sideways. I love how he's got a bounce on the balls of his feet. He's able to move in and out so well, even at 40 years old. You got to respect the skill level on the feet. It's just tremendous. And this is a guy without real boxing. He's doing it with this like karate kickboxing base. So tons of respect for his striking, of course. And even what you said about Shavkat, it's like Shavkat's way more patient. You know, Shavkat will slowly work his way in there, stayed pretty safe too, and got the job done pretty convincingly. So, yeah, nothing bad to say about those two guys. I do think, you know, I do think actually Colby might get what he wants here.
I think you might be right. All right, Finch. Finch man's onto something here. He thinks Colby might get what he wants.
I think he's got a little bit of pull. I mean, everybody's like,
All right.
why did he get the title shot? Leon's like, he doesn't deserve it. Guess what Leon did? He signed that contract, didn't he?
They paid. Quick little sum from TC. Thank you for the $5 buckaroos, my guy.
Hey,
we appreciate you.
What is
bro.
this picture TC's got? I'm trying to see this. This is like a clown. What am I looking at?
I think it's a clown. Yeah.
It's a clown. Okay, my neighbor's Richie the barber, so I'll let him know. I'll let him know you're a fan, bro.
Let's go, Finch. I think though my take is the MVP fight versus Wonderboy Thompson is such a sick bout that if timelines work out, I would much rather see it. That's all I'm saying.
Charlie Chips 2 says the inbreds want a Ripski.
Oh, I owe it. How many?
Did you set a bar for them? Did they get the amount?
Yeah, we did it. We're past 30 likes already, guys. I owe you a rip. Much love to the people. A little CBD lion action. Shout out to everybody watching. If you watch the live streams, you know the Ripski culture up in here, baby.
Go for it, AJ. Look at AJ. Turn up, turn down for what?
That was tremendous.
Listen, man, I got a big boy job. I can't be getting fucking baked all the time. Good for AJ though.
Listen,
I'm like this pen, folks. Okay, on the outside, I look completely normal, but watch out because I'm dangerous.
Holy
okay,
shit.
I'm dangerous. So
Holy
careful.
shit. Holy shit. Shout out to the people, man. I appreciate you guys smashing the likes and tuning in. We hit 25,000 subs, so I'm hype as fuck about that, man. I'm riding high on that 25,000 subscribers, which was epic because that live stream popped off. It was like almost 60,000 views on the live stream.
Wow, let's go.
Yeah,
AJ, we were doing the show before you were at 10K, buddy.
That's wild, right? Damn, son. We're on the way. 100,000 is going to be sick.
Riding this rocket. Good for you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in every week. We always appreciate it.
Mike Finch.
Listen, man, Shavkat's a beast. Shavkat might be the best. He might be coming up for that title. I was waiting to see Shavkat versus Hamzat. I don't think we're going to be able to see it. You know, I don't think we're going to be able to see Colby versus him, and maybe we don't even want to anymore. I'm going to guess Colby does get his wish and gets some fight other than Shavkat because Shavkat will beat him, bro. Shavkat's a beast. He's going to be up at that title. He'll probably have one fight. You know, I don't know what they'll do. They probably want to keep Leon busy. I guess Belal versus Leon makes sense. But Shavkat's right there. I respect it if Shavkat gets it.
What about this crazy world real quick? I'm going back to the main event for 1 sec.
We live in a crazy world.
Colby Covington, Dustin Poirier at 170. He sees him against Leon's like, maybe I can beat this guy. He looks slow.
I like it. That's dope.
That's a dope fight.
Again, AJ putting the matchmaker hat on. That hat right there, you call that the matchmaker hat because AJ is always making good fights. Hell yeah. Why not?
I like that. It's a super fight, man.
Yeah, why not? Of course. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, Poirier's striking is nice, and after the way Colby looked all slow and shit,
Yeah.
he really needs a bounce back fight, you know?
Right? Dude, think about 300. Is Colby ready to turn around for UFC 300? Poirier wants the spot.
He'll be
Colby
better
coming-
off. He'll be better off now that he lost and got a fight. You know, even in a loss, right? He felt it in there. He's gonna watch that fight and be pissed at himself. So yeah, I think that's a good fight.
I like it. Let's keep running. Fight before was Tony Ferguson versus Paddy Pimblett. Mike, Paddy Pimblett had a good performance, though. I got to give Paddy some credit. Cornrow Paddy Pimblett, mythical fighter unlocked. He looked meaner and better than he ever has before. He just looks so much more athletic and fast than Tony Ferguson on the mat, too. Like, T-Ferg could do nothing from bottom. Paddy saw everything coming. But one thing I will say is I do believe the David Goggins Hell Week helped Tony Ferguson survive, because there was moments where he could have got out of that fight. He wanted it bad. He tried his absolute fucking hardest. Paddy Pimblett was just better. I am in a weird spot here because I think for Tony Ferguson's sake, you give him one last fight. Give him somebody that's in the bottom half of the rankings, veteran type of fight, and let's give him a fucking send-off. And then, you know what? If he gets released from the UFC, they don't re-sign him, and he chooses to go fight elsewhere, bare knuckle picks him up, that's on him. But I think realistically, him versus Clay Guida is interesting. I think him versus Jim Miller is interesting. There are fights on the UFC roster that I'm curious about. I mean, I made a joke, right? What if we do BJ Penn, Tony Ferguson, battle for the longest losing streak? Holy shit. No, we won't see it, but that'd be
Please, cool. God, let BJ try to run for governor over there in Hawaii. Let him chill. Let him chill.
Listen, you know what? I think realistically, though, one more for Tony. Can we do it? What do we think?
No. Although he could. I mean, he could. Yeah, but, you know, who? In the UFC?
Jim Miller.
This ain't no place to play games, AJ. I mean,
I know.
Let me look at the bottom of this top 15.
No, not top 15. Please don't kill the guy.
Yeah, don't kill the guy. So I mean, what are you gonna have Diego Sanchez sign back with the UFC? I mean, what are you trying to do here?
That was an option. Yes, I would.
You know what I mean? I guess Tony and McGregor. Like, is that how bad McGregor is at this point? Kind of joking, kind of not. Okay. I'm probably going to continue to piss people off. I really did not think Paddy looked that good. And Paddy himself said, hey, I tried to finish him in the first round. I gassed out. I understand that. And did you hear why he did the cornrows?
Why? Tell me.
Paddy said he did the cornrows because his hair gets in his eyes, and that makes him pick his chin up to get his hair out of the way. So he didn't want his hair all in his eyes, and he didn't want to pick his chin up. So he decided to do the cornrows to keep his chin tucked. Problem was, he was still picking his damn chin up. He's still throwing punches like a jackass, and he's still going to get punched by any good counterpuncher. I mean, he does not look good striking. He's getting kicked hard. Like, Tony Ferguson landed some quality kicks on him, and the dude's defense is just bad. I do think any decent striker is going to smack him. And so, you know, you look up that division. I mean, RDA called him out. He wants that RDA fight. Brother, I don't think you do, okay? Because I've sparred RDA, and RDA is going to punch that kid in the face a lot. I mean, RDA is going to be a huge problem for Paddy. Is Paddy going to take RDA down? That'll be tough. Look, Paddy's big. He's strong. He's good at jiu-jitsu. I don't want to be a hater, but after seeing that, I'm going to fade him in any legit matchup.
Dan Hooker, Paddy Pimblett.
Dan Hooker.
All right. Paddy Pimblett versus Bobby Green.
Bobby Green.
Okay. I'm interested maybe in the Bobby Green fight next. I think that's still kind of sensible.
Bobby Green also thinking him out, dude. I think Bobby Green's knocking him out.
Dober Moicano loser. I don't like the RDA fight at all for him. I'm picking RDA over him right now, but like, I don't know, the Dan Hooker fight, just the chance because of Paddy's jiu-jitsu skill, he still has a way to win. I think there's a path. I don't know. Even like fighting against Drew Dober, there's a possibility he can win. Now, Drew Dober is fighting Renato Moicano, but if he loses that fight, or even if he wins, that's an interesting matchup, him and Paddy the Baddy, because eventually we got to give Paddy a ranked guy. We can't keep him outside for so long.
Jesse Scanlon, not what he said. They said it was because he gets hit. It looks worse because the salad flops around. That's true. He also said that, but you're wrong in saying that's not what he said. Go back and listen to the press conference. He also said what I just said, which is that it makes him pick his chin up because his hair's in his eyes. So he said both things, but that's an important point. Thank you, Jesse. Pick'em MMA right below it. He was trying so hard to finish Tony, so can't blame him for gassing out. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. You have to be able to pick your shots. Why does everybody in MMA, not everybody, but why do people like to they throw these looping shots? Watch Anderson Silva try to finish somebody. It's direct shots. Bang, bang. He's throwing direct shots right from the hip and the shoulder, just rotating, just like he's standing up, straight crosses. Anderson doesn't gas out from ground and pound. He's picking his shots. He's creating space. Watch McGregor try to finish somebody. They create space. They pick their shots. Patty's in there like a complete amateur, winging big shots, gassing himself out. Of course, I'm going to blame him. Pick him MMA. Of course, I'm going to blame him. Ben Liebson, something like that. Come on, Finch. Patty looked solid in there. What looks solid? His shoulders and his lats look solid. He's been hitting the gym, but I think that was pretty unimpressive. It didn't do anything for me to say, oh, he's better than the Jared Gordon fight. He didn't look better. He didn't look better. It looks like somebody could just close their eyes and hit him with an overhand right. So that's when you say, what's going to happen with a Bobby Green-Patty matchup? I think Bobby Green's laying his ass out.
L in the chat. Finch man's a Patty hater, guys. Finch is hating on Patty. He's always been a Patty hater. He said, I hated the kid from when it started. I'll tell you this. Listen, I'll give you a hard time. Hold on.
Patty the baddie. I love it, bro. What are you talking about?
He looks better, bro.
That Come song, by the way. I started writing some lyrics. Like, this shit is too good, man. The walkout is too good. And Molly Meatball's too cool, man. I've hung out with Molly Meatball, interviewed her. She is so cool. Like, just hanging out with her one-on-one. Her, Leah McCourt, such cool people. I'm sure Patty's great in person. I ain't trying to hate. I'm trying to tell you the truth. And the truth is that kid ain't making the top 10.
I'm not going to say he's going to make the top 10, but I think he's gotten better. I think he's coming into his prime. I think he looked good. He looked athletic. He looked quick, closing the gap. I think the chin still comes up, but it's better than before. I do agree that in the third round, the gas tank being down like that, listen, if you don't got that stamina, don't blow the wad. And if you had Drew Dober across from you, he's going to knock you the fuck out. I do think he's gotten better, but my side of the coin is I don't know if it's enough for him to win a fight against one of these top 15 guys in the world. But I think the skills are improving. And at 29, I think he could be top 15 material. I think Patty could end up surprising some people. I want to see him fight again. I want to see him fight somebody that's better, though. And I think it's time to step it up. Even if Patty has to face a loss, I want to see what happens between him and Drew Dober, man. That's a fight I really want to see. I know Dober's already booked, but we could somehow line those two up. The stylistic clash, because Dober has such a good base. Be hard for Patty to take him down. How does he adapt in that spot? How does he deal with the punching power? Somebody, like you said, that could counter him and punch him in the face. That's the fight that I want to see. And I don't think it's impossible for Patty to win. I think he's a big underdog coming in. I think that I'd probably sit on it for a while and probably be leaning maybe against him, because Drew Dober is not easy to bully on the floor. He's not a nearly 40-year-old Tony Ferguson. But I still think he's gotten better. I think he looks better than the past few.
And Bobby Green was dominating Drew Dober, okay, before that happened, right? Dominating him. So I got Bobby Green for sure, too. Yeah, Drew Dober, putting money on it against Patty. Yes. I don't know. He's a hype train, but he doesn't have like a stance, like his stance. He's so heavy. And I mean, I'm going to keep hating. It's not hate though. I'm just giving like critical analysis. I hope you guys see it. This is not like I don't like him or I'm rooting against him. I'm rooting for him. I would rather him look really good in a win. But what I objectively saw was he does not have, you know how the Wonderboy has a bounce and he can move in and out at any time, and he could be standing in front of you, but you throw at him and he could slide out the back door, boom, and then he could come in and hit you. Patty's just so localized. I know his geolocation. He's right there in front of me. So you can just kind of move your head and find that chin, boom, hit him with a left hook or an overhand right. And he picks the chin up when he throws, so there's a lot to work on there. The good thing is he's young. He's a young kid. He's got a lot of money, so he's got resources. He's got coaches he could pay. Maybe the current coaching staff isn't it. Maybe he's not a great athlete. I don't know what it is, but there seems to be fundamental problems with the striking and even the wrestling. okay, let's turn the tables to Tony Ferguson. Tony was chopping those legs up. Tony's got cardio for days. I like the elbows off the back. I said that when we were breaking down these fights, you know. But Tony just doesn't have goals on his back. Like, what is he working on? You know, I was at UFC Jim Rosemead with the general manager, Mike, and he's a blue belt in jiu-jitsu. He competes all the time. I'm like, what is he setting up on his back? I'm asking him, like, he's got the wrist. Okay, are you looking for the triangle? Do you want to start going for Kimura? Are you going to shove the wrist in and do a technical stand-up? Like, what is the goal here, Tony? Because he just kind of hangs on and he's just kind of surviving down there and letting the clock burn and letting these judges score these rounds against him. So I don't know what he's doing down there, but he doesn't seem to have a clear pathway to submissions. And that's very unlike the best submission fighters. And it's unlike him back in the old days. Back in the old days, Tony Ferguson, triangle your ass. Tony Ferguson will slap a frickin', you know, anaconda choke on there and get you out of there. You know, Darce. He does not play that game right now. Right now, it's just like kind of vanilla down there. And so even the jiu-jitsu is a little lacking to me, man. I think Tony should hang it up, and it's been great seeing him. And we could all be grateful for incredible fights. But unless it's Diego Sanchez or some crazy money fight with Connor or Khabib, I don't know. I don't know what they'd do. But, you know, Tony should not be fighting these kids.
I think that with Tony Ferguson, it's the bottom game jiu-jitsu and modern MMA. I think it's less effective because how good at the top game guys have gotten. I think like when Tony's tapping some of the other guys on the come up, maybe the more one-dimensional. I think that it's also the fact that he's slowed down too. His body doesn't have the same even mobility. Like, dude, his knees are shot. You can tell that he's taking a lot of fucking damage. I would be interested in one more for the fun. I'm like, just give it I know it's dangerous. I know it's the fight game, but like, I imagine where Tony Ferguson's headspace is at, and I can see that he can never live it down. He needs one last dance. Give him a fucking veteran fight. I think certain guys, bro, they need this. They need a send-off like that. As far as Patty, one thing I'm going to say, did he get dropped by Tony Ferguson? Mike Finch, yes or no? Did he get dropped by him?
AJ.
Did he get dropped by him?
AJ. Tony Ferguson? Who is Tony Ferguson going to be KOing right now, dog?
He dropped Bobby Green and Michael Chandler. Patty didn't get dropped. That's all I'm saying, Mike. That's all I'm saying. He didn't get dropped.
That's crazy. That's a crazy stat, actually, that he dropped those guys. Right? Did he drop Michael Chandler? I know he hit him hard. Did he actually go down?
He went down.
He went down? Really?
Flash knockdown. Both of them flash knockdowns. But I got to give Patty some love because he didn't get dropped. Now, you could say, but he's fucking fought the worst version of Tony ever. Maybe.
I saw John Smith, by the way, the devil's in the chat, and he says, what's up? I saw John Smith say Clay Guida, Tony Ferguson. I mean, that's not crazy, John Smith, which is the most white American name I've ever seen in my life. That's not crazy, but money's on Clay. And Clay's the man, by the way. Clay is like, I've seen Clay fought in early XFO days. So it's been crazy to see. I was a Clay Guida fan when I was like 14 years old. So it's just insane that Clay's still fighting. It makes no sense. Good for Clay, man. Yeah, Clay versus Tony. That at least is a little more logical.
Who you picking?
Clay Guida. Give me the caveman. Give me the carpenter. I want Clay Guida. Give me Illinois' own. And Illinois, no S, but Illinois, Bryant, like his ownership. Illinois' own Clay, the Carpenter Guida, getting it done against T Ferg because, Clay's an animal, man. He hits these takedowns, and T Ferg ain't doing shit off of his back but throwing elbows and listening to David Goggins, I guess. Hey, did you know that we just had a favorite drop in? Michael freaking Bowman. What's up, man? Patty, still not convinced. He was in fantastic shape. That testosterone pizza must be working. Happy holidays, Mr. Mike. Hey, I appreciate that so much. Thank you so much. And Merry Christmas to you as well, Mr. Bowman. We appreciate that. Testosterone pizza. AJ, does Mr. Bowman know something that we don't?
I think he's making assumptions that Patty Pimblett, he's injecting more than vitamin B12 into his delts. I don't know. With USADA on the way out, expect some physiques to blow up. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. You guys are going to love it. I'm telling you, at home, You're gonna love it.
Shit.
You're gonna notice these guys. What the fuck? This guy didn't have muscle like that last time. He's 43 now, and he's gotten in better shape than when he was 28. You'll see it.
Man, I saw on Instagram, I saw the face-off between Brock Lesnar and Alistair Overeem again. I was like, I almost forgot just how ridiculous those physiques were. I almost forgot. I mean, because you see Alistair nowadays, you see the Alistair who fought, those last few UFC fights. Whoa. I mean,
it's going to be crazy. It's going to be the Wild West again. A little loosening up on the drug testing. And I'm telling you, bro, the TRT is going to be running rampant. And I don't know if that's good for the game. Like USADA kept it as clean as it could be. I don't think the game will be as clean anymore. There's the flip side of the coin that you could say is positive, but also will be negative, is the fact that guys that are 36, 37, 38, 39, maybe the testosterone levels clinically are on the lower side, and they're fighting a guy who's 28, 29, 30, whose testosterone is way fucking higher. So now they could close that gap, but it's still artificial testosterone is not going to be the fucking same as what you're producing naturally, right? So if you're putting in,
is that true?
About it. If it's like, my thought process is this: if you're taking something from the outside in and your level is whatever, it's more stable, right? Because you're taking it, I don't know, and if it's injectable, right, it's going to be in your system and it's going to be more stable. The guy that's naturally training, he's going to notice a fluctuation, right, throughout the week. It's a bad night's sleep. But if you're taking a supplement of it, now you don't have that effect. One thing that I think it could become unfair in is those older guys could kind of have potential to even be better than their younger counterparts with the TRT, which is why the exemption of TRT, in all honesty, I know some guys truly do need it, but it becomes a slight unfair edge. And I think it does change the game a bit. Bowman, thank you for the 20 as well. I still got you on the screen.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Bowman. Appreciate you. Yeah, fair enough. I don't know. I just I was a big fan back in the Pride days and the earlier UFC days where there was a testosterone replacement therapy was legal, and you had Dan Henderson dropping the H-bomb on people, and you had you had Prime Vandalay, you had some crazy shit going on. As a competitor, you really want drug testing. I think like the average competitor really wants there to be performance enhancing drugs testing, because it's like bringing a knife into the fight. I mean, if one person's on, testosterone or fucking, Diana ball or whatever they're playing with, it's like bringing a weapon into the fight. I mean, it is a very significant advantage. So it's better just to have probably a clean sport. I know for you freaks watching, you want to see more knockouts. You want to see TRT, Vitor, wheel kick, Luke Rockhold in the head. I understand. All right. I want to be entertained on Saturday too, but these are real people. They really do, hurt their long-term health by playing with these drugs, because it's all about performance and less about longevity. And, I would rather see a clean sport. So I hope you're wrong, AJ.
I hope so
and
too.
KZ has got a fight idea.
50 NIO from KZ. He wants Paddy Pimblett versus Terrence McKinney. I don't think McKinney deserves that big of a jump up the ranks at this point. But if they were to face off, I'd have to favor Paddy at this point.
I'm going Terrence McKinney.
This guy hates fuck. He doesn't believe in him. Dude, he went to a close decision.
I don't give a fuck either. I don't give a fuck either. Okay? Come at me, bro. Come at me. All right? I don't care. Call me a hater. All right? I'm a realist, family. Thank you for the 50 NIO. I have no idea what NIO is. I thought that was a car company in China. But whatever that is, we appreciate it. You're giving us stuff. You're in the holiday spirit. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Nicaraguan,
Charlie
Cordoba. That's what it is.
Charlie Chips 2 has a good point. It's not about health. It's about the small balls that you get from the steroid. That's true. That's true. And we don't have that problem in the Finch family. Okay. But
do you know what Rich Piana said about that? Rich Piana said smaller balls makes the dick look bigger.
Who said that?
Rich Piana, bro. Rich Piana.
I have no idea who that is, but fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah, I guess use well, I'll drop it. You
don't know Rich Piana, bro?
No, I don't know who that is.
Dude, he's a California guy too. I swear you would have known him, dude. He's a legendary like street bodybuilding and he just was an absolute mutant freak, man. He's someone you go look him up after this. Rich Piana. Just watch a montage. Say what?
After I'll look at it right now.
Look at him right now. Name? Rich Piana.
Oh, I think I might have seen this dude's face. Yeah, that guy is saucing.
He's freak, dude. He's lifetime natural, dude.
No, you folks don't look like this.
He's
dude.
A lifetime natural.
This guy cannot itch his back. You know what I mean?
Actually, surprisingly, I watched a video of him doing a split. Doesn't make any sense. Yeah,
split.
The guy was like a freak with flexibility.
What? Yeah, this guy, a freak is right.
He's a mutant.
Yeah, folks. No, don't. Keep your large testicles. Do not follow this man. You know, I'm worried about people who abuse the steroids. I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger has a fake heart. You know, it really does affect people's long-term health. Gotta be careful. Paku, yo, Finchman and AJ, great card to end off the year. Almost a perfect week for me. 11 out of 12. Very nice. Very nice, Paku. Equal first in the world in terms of picks on Tapology. Okay. Jacoby killed my perfect card. Yeah, that was an unfortunate ending for Jacoby. Plus 3.5 units, 3 out of 4 on bets. Good for you, man. Yeah, I went 2 out of 2 on my bets because I didn't bet until afterwards, but I would have had Ulanbekov. I wish I would have placed some more bets. I was a little late on that, but congratulations. 11 out of 12 is insane, dude. Good for you.
Paku, good shit, man. We got to get to the main card opener, which was a highlight reel knockout for the ages. Josh Emmett nearly decapitated Bryce Mitchell. That was vicious. It sounded like a gunshot.
This is why anybody who was saying, I saw this earlier, that card sucked. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that was a sick fight.
After the Cody Garbrandt KO, I was impressed. This was the ugliest KO all year.
Yeah, that's vicious. That's probably knockout of the year, man. I think we had 2 monumental fights. We had a knockout of the year here, and we had a women's fight of the year with Aldana and Rosa.
Dude, I think that this knockout was so scary, like that people are watching this and they're going, "Oh my, this is one of those do you want to be a fucking fighter moments?" You throw that clip up of Bryce Mitchell convulsing on the canvas. Wow. That was terrifying. It was perfectly timed. The way he banged the cross, kind of like a little loop to it, so you call it a loop, but they both threw the cross at the same time, right? And Bryce's head stayed on the center line when he threw his. So what Emmett did is, wham, he came off that center line and threw over the top. And speaking of balls, Emmett might have some balls because that dude's got testosterone coursing through those veins. My man Emmett is jacked, and man, could he turn his shoulders over into a shot. He got his hips behind that one. Number one muscle you punch with, at least on these sports science shows when they hook Rampage up, is your glutes, and you could just see the hips turn over. He sat down. They call it sitting down on your punches, like you're heavier on your feet. He worked his way in there, nice and patient. He waited for that right hand. Boom, gave him that cross. AJ, that was scary.
That is fucking vicious. Yeah. The knockout was nasty. It was one of those KOs where you're worrying about the opponent's health. Hold on, I got to bring this up. Ridley says something wild. He says, damn, this guy's gotten way more famous. Remember when he had 1K subs? Congrats and keep up the great work. Ridley, holy shit. Shout out to you for remembering the OG days of just 1,000 subs, man. Thank you, bro. I had to bring that up.
But in this one, for sure. I think AJ was at 7 or 8 when I jumped in, up to 25 now. So awesome, dude.
Thanks, bro. Thank
you. Hey, while we're talking comments, what's flatter, KZ?
Oh shit. Bryce.
Ooh.
Damn. Dude, that Bryce is a nice guy. You just hit him below the belt, dude.
I mean, he's kind of pushy with his beliefs, no? I mean, is he a little pushy with his beliefs?
I think he's just loud.
It would help if he was right, but he's not. He's not right.
I don't know, man. He's convincing me of it. I think I'm going flat earth on you, Finch. I'm gonna have to start looking into
right
it
now. We got time right now. If you want to talk about it right now, I mean, we could do it right now.
Listen, I'm always down to hear both sides of the argument, man. I like conspiracies.
Of course, but both sides aren't equal, right? It's like we talked about this on the show before. It's very important. If I leave anybody with anything, fuck fight picks. How do you know if something is true? You believe in things based on evidence. you think from a first principles approach. That means you start with what's most fundamentally true and you work from there. You don't reason by analogy. And the third way is that you believe in the scientific method. You follow it. You start with a hypothesis. You try to prove it wrong. If you do those three things, follow the scientific method, believe in things based on evidence, think from a first principles approach, that's how you find the truth. Flat Earth doesn't work with any of those three.
I thought you were saying it makes sense, man.
Which is why it probably ain't true.
I would say I like how you threw probably ain't true in there. Probably isn't. My mindset is this. The science on it says no. The evidence, I mean, we do have ancient maps and we do have these, screenshots that we've seen around the web of what they say the flat Earth looks like. As far as running it through the scientific method. So it might only pass one of the three. So odds are it's in the 33% of likelihood. It's lower. It's less than likely that it's flat. But if there's an off chance, I mean, you never know. The world could be a fucking weirder place than we think.
You ever look through a telescope? You just look at the other planet?
I have. I know. That's my argument is I've looked at the moon. I saw another planet on telescope. So it's like, and it gets a little far-fetched when it's like you're actually seeing with your eye space does exist,
Yeah, and you could see different parts of the moon, like and then planets in rotation, like different times a year, they look different, right? So, yeah, I'm definitely on Team Oblate Spheroid Earth.
Globe theory, as they say.
What's that?
The globe theory, as they say.
Globe theory?
Theory.
My goodness, is this bad? Is it this bad out there, folks?
Dude, I don't know, man.
Shit. Guys,
we were talking about it.
We need to send you up in Blue Origin, okay? Jeff Bezos made a thing where you go into low Earth orbit, all right, and you can look at the Earth. We're putting Eddie Bravo and Bryce Mitchell on the next fucking one up.
I think I need to go too at this point. I saw a video of a pilot saying the Earth is flat too. I'm just there's people saying it. I'm like, I don't know. Let me take a rip because this conversation is getting absolutely out of pocket now. This is what KZ does to us, man. He brings up a fucking crazy ass topic and he's got me going conspiracy mode.
KZ, why are you doing this to it? I actually brought it up, so I brought your comment up here, KZ. That's my bad. Yeah. So Tarzan Strickland here. People doubt science with no study of it is the problem. You don't want to believe in things based on authority, and I think that's kind of what you're saying here, Tarzan. Is like there's a scientific authority, so don't question it. One time, the scientific authority actually didn't believe the Earth was an oblate sphere. So scientific authority is not a good reason. Like it was in my textbook. It's not a good reason. It's a decent reason. Like that's something to consider, right? That's a factor. And there's plenty of very smart people working on this stuff, looking at the evidence, but you never want to believe in things based on an authority, based on dogma. Okay. Dogma is not a good way to believe on something, a good reason to believe in something. You want to do the due diligence of putting it through those three filters I laid out. Do I need to write a book? I think I'm writing a book. How do you know if something is true? By Mike Finch, coming to your family next Christmas.
What about the moon landing? That's another one, man. That's a tricky one, right? Because this is my argument towards it.
We could do it.
Is that landline call that they set in after was sus? I have a theory that maybe that moon landing video was untrue. Now, I'm not saying they definitely didn't make it, but I just find it odd that it's still a struggle to get to the moon in modern day with, the technology of today. They're having a hard time. We did it in 1969. I don't know.
So moon landing's a fun one. I'll give it away right away. Yes, I do believe we did go to the moon, but it's a fun one. My favorite rabbit hole to take people down with this one is go look up the original radio debate between Joe Rogan and the guy from NASA, and it was hosted by, who's the tall guy, Penn or Teller? That's Penn, right? The two performers in Vegas. There's like Penn and Teller. I think it's Penn is the tall guy. So he was kind of like moderating it. He kind of brought them together. His like NASA friend and Joe Rogan. Joe obviously at the time, maybe not obviously. Joe at the time can believe the moon landing did not happen. It was a Hollywood movie, as I just saw somebody say. Charlie. So Joe's debating that it's fake. NASA guy is debating that it's real. Joe kind of kicked his ass, but the thing to learn there is how to debate. And Penn says this during the debate, which is like 2 hours long or something. He says, this should be taught in universities. Like how good Joe Rogan is at debating should be studied. And I've tried to do some of it, and I definitely have learned things from listening to old Joe debate, because new Joe is way more go with the flow, doesn't push back as hard, doesn't question authority quite the same way. Old school Joe Rogan was hardcore. And he makes a great argument against it. So he brings up all these points. Yeah. And there's a lot to go into. Since then, the evidence seems to point to that we were on the moon. And I'll leave it at that. I mean, we should have a moon base. I'm a big Elon Musk fan. I agree with what he says. We should have a moon base. Of course, there should be a moon base. We should want to extend humanity further than Earth. So it's pretty remarkable that humans haven't really, done much in that area. And it would be definitely something I look forward to in my lifetime, is seeing more astronauts go place their feet on that moon, because that's what we should. We should be a star-faring civilization. I'm a big Star Wars fan. That's inspiring, right? Why not continue to move forward? And of course, we want a moon base. AJ, are you going to moon base? Would you go pay a visit if I gave you a ticket? Would you go pay a visit to moon base?
How safe is this fucking ride? Because I'm not risking it for a ride. I'm not going down like that submarine guy. I'll pass if it's risky. If it's been perfected and it's like equivalent to regular transportation, and we're not in risky territory, I'll consider. But as far as if it's like a fucking risky go, I don't need to go to the moon that bad. I'm pretty content on Earth.
Okay.
There's a lot of places I ain't seen on the planet. Now I got to fly to the fucking moon.
Bro, you want to find out if the Earth is fucking round? That's
True.
A good vantage
Well,
point.
if you're
Okay,
gonna send me a pic, and I'll be like, all right, Finch, you proved it. You'll
be
right.
down.
Right.
See, you believe in me. I appreciate that trust.
I trust you. I would. Yes.
Thank you. I respect that. Because
Sure.
if they paid me enough money to fake if I found out the Earth was flat and they paid, I would lie to you. I would lie to you for $1 billion. I would fucking lie to you. Okay.
This is fucked,
So
man. This is what they do. They get people close to you and they fucking implement, lies to them, and then they pass it down. Financial incentive goes a long way. So realistically, Finch just proved it. He just said that he would lie for it. So Finch, the Earth is flat, because how many other people have had that same proposition come to them? Boom.
I mean, it would have to be quite a few, my friend.
Have to be.
Look, AJ, we landed on the moon. Tell me you believe we landed on the moon.
We probably landed on the moon.
Okay.
Probably.
I'll take that. I'll take that. Yeah.
Like Joe Rogan, didn't he say don't believe in things absolutely? Leave a little segment.
I have a curious mind. Joe had that show, Joe Rogan Questions Everything. It's just a good mindset to have. Question everything, be curious. Always ask questions. There's a good George Carlin quote. Don't just teach your children to read, teach your children to question what they read. It's right, you always want to be curious. It's always harder to find the question than it is to find the answer. I think, human beings, we're so mimetic. As Peter Thiel says, we're ape-like, lemming-like, sheep-like beings. We want to mimic each other and always look for the answers. The harder thing is to find the questions, right? So you want to be curious and sort of always questioning everything. And that's a good mindset. You don't want to fall down rabbit holes and conspiracy theories. That's not what I'm saying. But you do want to generally, question authority, always asking, why do I believe something? Is it a good reason? These are really healthy questions.
You think that modern society questions too little at this point?
No, because there were the Salem witchcraft trials,
True.
Where,
always.
You know what I mean? You go back in time, the people always do this. Everything's worse now. It's like everything's the best it's ever been. This is the most open-minded people have ever been. If you were, gay, what you saw, what just happened in the Senate, you know what I mean? People would get murdered for that just a few generations ago.
You're gonna talk about Drake Du Plessis. That's funny.
New
trend. There's new rumors of that going out. Did you see Jesse on Fire had a video?
People probably want us to talk about Drickus and Sean getting in a fucking brawl, right?
We should talk about that. We should talk about that. After we do the fight, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, so I'll just put a cap on this. It's good to question things. I'm not saying that. That's phenomenal. That's the right mindset to have, I think. And the sheep-like, ape-like, lemming-like behavior that people have. People are very mimetic. Even in the time of Shakespeare, the word ate went both meant both primate and imitate. There's something naturally mimetic about human behavior, and that's directly from Peter Thiel's book 0 to 1, the best business book I've ever read. So always kind of, question your chimpanzee instincts.
I like it, man. I like it. I do want to talk a little bit about these main prelims that we saw, ones with epic moments. We'll bring up this one first because it stood out. Cody Garbrandt back on track, calls out Davison Figueiredo after the fight. It was so weird to go from talking about the fucking moon and shit to not be talking about
back to fights. Okay,
back to fights.
Cody fucking Garbrandt. Yeah. Who was hating on me? Can we bring that old chat up?
Who that guy was?
Do you remember? Hate, bro. Hate saying Cody Garbrandt, blah blah blah. You guys
never
definitely fade Cody. Look, Cody's back. Cody's gonna be the champ. Cody's back. Okay. No, I'm just kidding. Come on. But he looked good against Kelleher, man. Come on. Even AJ doubted my boy Cody. Take it back, AJ.
I will. I'll take it back. I said I was all right. I was wrong. He's not that washed. He called out Davison Figueiredo after.
That washed.
I like the Davison Figueiredo fight. I'm down for
it. He's a little washed, but on the spectrum of washed, he ain't that washed.
I mean, I still think the chin is going to go when he gets touched by somebody.
Damn, bro.
But I think his movement's still there. It's just that big shot, heavy hitter. Call it a quitter, bro. Knocked out. I see him getting slapped by like a guy with some pop. Davison Figueiredo could sleep him.
Fuck yeah. But Davison Figueiredo was just the world champion, so it's a high bar. Cody's good. Cody's towards the bottom of the top 10. Cody's good. Yeah. He's going to fuck up these, B-, C+ guys, So, yeah, you're going to give him a gatekeeper. He'll probably get through the gate. Yeah, I like Cody Garbrandt, man, and it's cool to see him bounce back. Thank goodness. Jeez, can the guy catch a break, He's been in a lot of tough fights, though. We were going through it, and you got to respect, the opposition that he's fought in the UFC. He's fought all the best, and he's a good fighter. So respect to Cody. Nice to see him bounce back. Another wicked KO to spoil you fucks, okay? The card was good.
Dominic Cruz rematch.
Sure. Yeah, Dominic Cruz, injury's been catching up to him. Why not? I think Dominic would love to get a crack back at that really dominant performance that Garbrandt put on him. And, Dominic Cruz, not the hardest puncher. So,
yeah,
good
fight. That's the fight, dude. I think that's the fight.
I like that.
I'm thinking at UFC 300, let's bring a little nostalgia. Garbrandt versus Cruz too.
I really enjoy that. I really do enjoy that. That's the headliner of the prelims right there.
Yeah, that's money. Damn, that's a good fight. Because, Davison, I'm looking at the rankings. He's ranked 8. At least Cruz is ranked 10, and the argument's Garbrandt has a win over him. Because if you're going Davison Figueiredo, then the flip side of the coin is Rob Font jabbed Garbrandt's face off. Davison Figueiredo just beat up Rob Font pretty bad. So I think it's hard to put Garbrandt way up there. I mean, crazy things have happened with former world champs. And then when I'm digging back at that top 15, Umar Nurmagomedov, are we going to feed him to Umar? No. Chris Gutierrez fight. Gutierrez doesn't sell there. Jonathan Martinez, tricky prospect, but I don't think they want to throw Cody Garbrandt to him. It's a weird situation for him where I think that if you're talking about what he really deserves, it would probably be anybody ranked from number 12 to 15. Issue is we got Chris Gutierrez, which I don't think makes sense. Umar Nurmagomedov, it'd be a cool fight, but I don't think they do it. Ricky Simone has a fight booked next month, and I don't think they'd make it. And then Jonathan Martinez, I don't think they'd make that fight either. So either he's jumping up to Cruz or Figgy, I think.
Yeah, that's interesting. Figgy's interesting. I mean, although I'm kind of leaning Figgy right off the bat, it's interesting, right? At least it'd be fun. I think that would be a fun fight.
Yeah, I'd be intrigued by the matchup, to say the least.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see.
That's cool. Wouldn't you want to be live for the Figgy Cody Garbrandt fight? It's like when Cody Garbrandt fights, shit goes down. Okay. Sometimes it's him, but shit goes down. I'm intrigued.
I'm intrigued too. Yeah. I like Figgy Garbrandt. I like Cruz Garbrandt too. I think this fun matchup.
Your guy over here, what's his name? He said that's the fight. I already lost him, but he says that's the fight. The original one, Dominic Cruz versus Cody Garbrandt, Tarzan Strickland. That's the fight. Listen, I think that's the fight. I agree with him.
How did I manage to get the Finch? Mike Finch, I gave him a call one day. I said, listen, Finch, I said, I got a big opportunity for you. And he said, "How the fuck did you get my number? Who the fuck is this guy?" I said, "Listen, don't worry about it." I said, "You're on a show starting Monday," and you showed up, and that's it.
Listen, folks, I got the job interview and I nailed it. Okay. Me and AJ just had fun, and I had no background. Like I played for our 100th episode of Moneyline MMA Burgers. Go check it out. I played the first episode, a clip from it. No background. My camera was facing the other way, just looking at my blank wall. And then slowly all of this happened. My wife made this incredible sign, surprised me with it. We got the sound padding. It sounds a little better in here, looks a little better in here. I got a ring light on my face now. Like, we're doing a bit. AJ got the MMA experts. Look at him. He's got shit going on here. So, I couldn't be the only one with a sign out here. So me and AJ have really stepped it up over time. And, this is a true dynamic duo. Hey, AJ, did you see that fight that happened in the crowd?
Dude, the fight in the crowd was one worth talking about. I wish I had a graphic for it, but I don't. It is Sean Strickland, Dricus du Plessis getting into it. If you didn't see the video, I think you've been living under a rock. Everybody essentially knows what happens. Dricus kind of barbs at him a bit as the UFC is looking at them. And then, Strickland pretends to like point a gun back and shoot at him. And I guess Drake is supposedly said like, yeah, why don't you fight me now or something, like call them out. So Sean Strickland tells Gilbert Burns, wife and kids, hey, you guys scoot down a little bit. And he goes full savage mode. He jumps over the fucking chairs and just starts throwing shots and elbows. Yeah, it was beautiful. It was beautiful.
When I first saw the video, I thought it was Sean Strickland fucking up some drunk fan. Okay. I didn't realize that Dana White sat Sean Strickland right in front of Dricus du Plessis. Not the move, Dana. Not the move. You're going to do that when the former president is cage side? Chaos, man. So, yeah, interesting move. Dana said, what kind of asshole would do that? This asshole. Yeah, man, not the move. So, Sean Strickland is a Grand Theft Auto character. Okay. Hey. He's straight out of GTA. You pull up at his house. He's rocking the white t-shirt. Boom. He's putting the piece on you. What's up? Yeah. Right. You want to talk some shit in the crowd? He's going to bash his right elbow upside your temple. Sean Strickland's a real gangster.
About it. I think that I have a conspiracy, man. And this one, I think you might agree with. Was that not suspicious? The cameras were there at the perfect time for them to get into it. Why is it? It's the perfect seating arrangement. They put them right across from each other. They didn't want to see that to sell the pay-per-view a little more.
Opposite. No, exact opposite. I'm going exact opposite. I think that Sean Strickland was like, man, fuck this guy. Saw the camera in front of him and thought, perfect. I'll beat his fucking ass right now. We're going to double this pay-per-view. I think that's what happened. I think that Strickland, being the champ, got to sit closer to the cage. Dricus was behind him. And because Trump was there, dude. I'm serious. You think they want that to happen the night that Trump is cage side?
Probably the last guy they want there for that to happen. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. So no, I don't think they want chaos on that night. I really don't. No, I think Sean Strickland noticed the camera was there and like, oh, this guy's gonna talk shit in front of the camera. Like, no, I'm a man and I'm gonna defend myself. And
that was sick.
That's what happened.
That was sick, bro. I love that. I love that it bled over. And then we're gonna have a pretty heat press conference before that fight. Jeez, man, that card back in Toronto. Even Sean Strickland, though, at the seasonal presser, mentioned he wants to fight in front of the American fans, but they're sending him to Canada.
My guy up here, what's his name? TC says that the character in Grand Theft Auto 6 looks exactly like Sean Strickland. I'm looking at it. I gotta say, this guy's, he's a little bit better looking than Sean Strickland, but he's rocking the white tank top. I mean, he's got Sean's look. So GTA A6, you could play as Sean Strickland.
That'd be pretty sick, man. Question for you, Finch. What are your thoughts on Eileen Perez? This is an urgent question.
Eileen Perez is a freaking gangster.
I think he's talking about something else.
Everybody. She's out here moving all that cake. That girl's driving a dump truck.
She is. Listen, let's keep playing with this car.
Excuse me. Sorry about that. Can't get me in trouble. Who's getting me in trouble? Who just got me in freaking trouble? Yeah, jeez. Thank you, Hunter. Now I'm gonna have a tough night here, okay? And then Hunter asks my thoughts on Lipsky's OnlyFans. You trying to get me divorced, okay? You see that? All right. Next question.
Oh, that's funny as hell, man. Top 5 chinny fighters between Haas, Garbrandt, Arlovsky, Dariush, and Danny Roberts.
Dariush, how dare you? How
Haas is
dare
at the
you put
top.
Dariush in his chinny?
I think I'm going Haas, Arlovsky, Garbrandt, Roberts, Dariush on that lineup.
Damn. Yeah, Haas does have an issue. Arlovsky went in and out of it, you know? Like Arlovsky had a year or two there where it was bad, but he kind of came out of it, you know? So I don't know. It's love. I don't want to come on, Igor.
Yeah.
I've hated enough
Igor.
today, okay, Igor? I got all the hate out of my heart today, okay? Can we keep it love at the end of this podcast here? Jesus. I just wanted to say that Sean Strickland and Dricus du Plessis got into it, and that shit was super fun. And yes, I'm super looking forward to the fight. Early preview, I do think they're going 5 rounds. I think it's a good fight. I think it's going to be fun. How fucking big is Dricus du Plessis? That guy's how does he make 185? He's huge.
The freak. I don't know. He's got a freakish frame, dude.
He's the second biggest middleweight ever, right behind, who am I about to say?
Paulo Costa.
Paulo fucking Costa is the biggest fighter per weight class I've ever seen in my life. That's the 5-0. Can you hear the cops rolling by? That is the big. I stood next to Paulo Costa. He's bigger than Cain Velasquez. He's bigger than Rampage. He's bigger than these 250 pounders. Paulo Costa is huge. How did he ever make 185? Dricus du Plessis is about the same size. Dricus is huge, man. So Sean's going to have a big boy in there to deal with.
Aldana Rosa, quick talk on it. It was the female fight of the night. It was the fight of the night, really, period. These girls went to war. And Aldana overcomes some adversity with the kicks early. I think she does well for her stock because with a win like that in an epic fight, you got to still have her in the title picture. Especially now with Pennington and Bueno Silva fighting for it.
Fight was so good, dude. That fight was so good. Usman, am I losing weight? Dude, I'm 183 right now. I got to get all the way down to 168 to go compete at ADCC. So I'm about to be losing weight, bro. Aldana versus Rosa. Man, are these girls tough? Irene Aldana moving forward on her. Car and drive the whole time. You got to love that shit.
I agree. I love the hell out of it, man.
You know, people want to hate on women's MMA. How about that shit? Are you not entertained? Come on, man. Irene Aldana's a dog. I love the style, man. Just pressure. Colby Covington, take notes.
Finch, the card was solid. I'm just going to quickly breeze through the other fight results. And then if you want to go deep on anything, but I really feel like we can just look through them. Upset, Menifield's hands were on fire with Jacoby. It was a good punching power display for him.
Fun fight too, bro.
Yeah,
fun fight too. They banged it out. Menifield's mean as hell.
Fight before that, Ulanbekov took out Durden. The submission call lock was perfect, baby. That train is rolling into 2024. Lock streak. Yeah, that was a money call, bro. You knew that was.
Good job on locking it, AJ. Good freaking work, bro. Man. Yeah, Ulanbekov's the truth.
He's the real shit, man. He's good. Feely knocks out Almeida in one fucking shot. My gosh, Feely looked good.
I mean, yeah. These fights now, I'm like, I was at UFC gym working, so you really are gonna have to preview these because I'm half watching it, half working. Yeah. But yeah, Feely's a freaking dog.
And Gaziev pulls it off against Boudet with the power. He smothered the big boy. He smothered the fat man, and he pulled it out with a standing TKO in the second, which was necessary here. I mean, he was an underdog in this fight that I was surprised to see. I thought he had a real good chance of winning, and Gaziev got it done. Listen, UFC 296 brought the heat. I enjoyed the card a lot. I think that, the main event maybe wasn't a great war, but I think we were spoiled on earlier fights. UFC is not going to be happening for a while, but there is some news to talk about. UFC 299 is stacked. I'll bring up the full main card for you guys because holy shit, the pay-per-view is looking pretty fucking epic. As of right now, let me bring up Tapology so I can actually.
Yeah, wow, this is dope. I'm seeing this whole card for the first time right now.
Oh,
Jack Della and Gilbert Burns. Oh shit.
Jack, that's Jack. That card's jacked up, bro.
Whoa.
That's a sick co-main. We got O'Malley Vera up top, Burns Madalena in the co, Blades Almeida, currently the featured bout. Jeff Neal versus Ian Gary on the pay-per-view card. And then Piotr Jan, Song Yadong. So that right there is a stacked championship main event, and then just a great card altogether. And even the prelims are looking good. Munoz, Phillips,
Mataush, Garbrandt, RDA.
Then Kevin Hall and Michael Venom Page has got to be the featured prelim. Like that to me could be 300. That's crazy. UFC 299 is stacked. They better bring the heat with 300. Holy
what
shit.
are they doing, bro? Yeah, they put the 300 card on 299. Those are awesome fights, man. Hell yeah. Where is that?
It's Miami, baby.
Bro,
Florida.
are we gonna hit Miami? Do you want to go to Miami, bro?
Listen, Finch, I had an offer. A buddy of mine asked me, you know what I said? There's too much left on the table if I'm not live streaming. So I will be working UFC 299 right here on the channel. The Fight Companion, as always, man. I'm committed to the Fight Companion lifestyle, bro. I think if there was a card in my backyard, I'd have to sit in here and I just hear it from the outside.
It's got to be like in your zip code, bro. Isn't Miami like 2 hours? Come on, dog.
I think I just can't miss a live, bro. I think that realistically, unless I'm getting a booth at the UFC to do the Fight Companion, I'm watching at home, man.
I mean, you could kind of live stream from your seat, but yeah, that would kind of defeat the purpose. Fair enough, AJ. Fair enough. Go do your live for your fans, bro. They appreciate it. You always see me jumping in on the chat. That card is ridiculous, man. I'm excited to break those ones down when we get to next month. Holy shit. I don't know what we're doing because Monday's Christmas. I mean, do we just celebrate Christmas? What do
we celebrate Christmas.
We just celebrate Christmas.
Now,
Merry Christmas to the folks. All the best if you do celebrate Christmas. I hope you get what you wanted Santa to get you, you selfish piece of... No, I'm just kidding. Have fun, man. Enjoy Christmas with your families.
I think that if we could put together a Moneyline fight of the year, Moneyline knockout of the year, Moneyline fighter of the year, you and I can both drop our picks for that, maybe on the follow-up show for New Year's or something.
Yeah, I'm not opposed. Yeah, we'll come up with some cool shit.
Yeah.
We got to look back on the year for sure. So we'll do a little recap. Yeah. We'll have some, fight of the year, fighter of the year type shit. We'll look at how the MMA, fighters only awards or whatever. Yeah. We'll look at those categories. That would be fun.
That'd be good, bro. We can have the graphics here. I'll have AJ's pick here. Finch is there. We'll see how they line up, but we'll see.
Haunter killed it. He said Moneyline fighter of the year's got to be Porky Porter. I think
you're right.
I think that's clear.
That's clear. That's the lock of the year.
Yeah.
Hey, TC, O'Malley versus Cheeto, early pick. I'm going Bro O'Malley for the W.
Woo! I have every reason to pick Cheeto, especially since he lives right over there. But man, after seeing Sugar Sean's hands, you gotta think Sugar Sean's gonna let those hands go. You know, I tried telling Oscar on this show.
I remember.
And remember what he said to us? He said, "Are you crazy?" He's like, "Do I gotta fly out there?" I'm like, I was telling him Sugar Sean O'Malley could box. He said no. And I said, Sugar Sean O'Malley would box the fuck out of Corey Sandhagen. He's like, no, I think that's very clear. Now, I think time has shown how good O'Malley's hands are. We were on it, AJ. We saw that from the beginning. Not everybody did, but Sugar Sean could box. And, Chito
I picked him all the way through.
Yeah. So, Chito Vera's not on quite a streak, but I'm rooting for him, man. I love Jason Perillo. What good people over there. So rooting for him and rooting for a good fight for sure. We'll break that one down when we come to it.
Finch, man, off week from the UFC. We still brought the heat to the people. We hope you guys enjoyed a money line that kind of went to left field for half of it, with Finch and I talking about the moon landing and flat earth, which, you know what, I like, though, especially for an off week. It's good to bullshit and banter. People, we appreciate you all tuning in. You guys will see me every single day. I'm live tomorrow. I got videos dropping, so the content's still coming on the channel per usual. Don't worry about it. So if your post notifications aren't turned on, make sure you turn them on and put them on all so you don't miss a video or live stream, because daily content still rocking here on the MMA Experts channel.
Paku, we love you too. We appreciate you. Merry Christmas. Charlie Chips, I am a philosophy professor, and my profession is right here, philosophizing about some fist fights. Okay, we always appreciate you guys tuning in. Of course, we're gonna come to you with the year-end show. Merry Christmas, MMA Experts fans. Appreciate you, Moneyliners.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Merry Christmas, happy holidays. We will see you all in the next one.